Yeah, it just seemed like an unusual and rare opportunity. A place like this doesn't come up for sale that often because there's just not that many that exist. I can't think, surely there's another place or two in Norman that would fall into the same category, but maybe not. The Sooner Theater's not going to go up for sale. It just seemed like an interesting, fun way to spend part of my life doing. I'm Quentin Baumgartner, and I'm the caretaker of the Chouse.
Perfect.
How about that? Short and sweet? Okay. Clearly, this was the former location of the St. Thomas More Catholic Church, and they still exist across town. Well, the building was built in 1926 by an architect by the name of Harold Jimeno. He was an Italian-American who was an OU architect student. His other big claim to fame in this town is he did the Sooner Theater, which if you see some of the aesthetics here, especially this kind of shield pattern that's throughout the building, that's also throughout the Sooner Theater. It was first built as a place of worship for female Catholic students that went to OU. The final service here, from what I understand, was Easter Sunday, 1979. The thing I always like to say, and this is a repeated joke, is I'm the fourth owner if you count the Pope, but Phyllis was the first owner, the first non-Pope owner. So I'm the third non-Pope owner.
Oh God, I wish Phyllis were still alive. I wish you could talk to her. She was truly an eccentric, and she was this big woman who chain smoked and almost always had a glass. And, oh my God! And she would just tell stories, and yeah, she was great. So I'm Mary Catherine Long, and my husband Tom Lee and I bought the Chouse in 1998, right before we got married, and we lived there for about 10 years. Tom was an artist. And in his teenager years, he was a musician. He decided that someday he was going to live in a church. And we decided to get married. I told him that the deal breaker for me was that we had to live in Norman. So the Chouse has been a community building in many ways. In many ways, I think if you live in the Chouse and you own the Chouse, you don't so much own it as you get to be the caretaker for it. The person that owned it before us, Phyllis Dowling, did a lot of events there, and we did a lot of community events. We talked to somebody who said, you should have concerts here. You should have house concerts here. And so we did. We had our first house concert with a guy named Don Condescenti, who played at the Woody Guthrie Festival every year. I miss the music. I miss those musicians, and I miss those after a show. I miss that time just with a few friends, thinking about what a great night we've had and sort of bonding in the quiet of that beautiful space.
It's nice to have this and be part of it for the moment. That this is, approaching 100 years old. It's, I like to just sit in this room sometimes by myself and think about the countless people that have come in and out, the weddings that have happened here, undoubtedly funerals. I haven't seen any ghosts. I'm looking for them, but they haven't shown up yet.
When I would be alone sometimes, or Tom and I would be in the quiet in that building at night, sometimes you could almost feel or hear the people who had attended church there, who had been christened there, who had been married there, who had buried a loved one, the funeral had been there. And those souls, I believe, still reside in there to some extent. And there's a history there that you just can't ignore. But I hope that whoever is the next caretaker of that building loves it as much as Quentin and Tom and Phyllis and I did. And that they treat it with the sort of loving respect and think about the history and think about the integrity.
Being alive is a cool adventure. You never know where you're going to be taken.